ene enkomo bi aba bonten say yade a eye one eye MPP former appointee baako abusuafo eni no buo kwan so ye kira ya che no ewo eye Accra eye international airport na jenesi ye na oyeye nu agenti na odwane yente ni na masisi ha era so aye be media je chebe se wase ene de konitwe channel so a ye be se waso be subscribe like na wabo so ahye ma frequency no be tie no anya bi etie yente eye nsem ya aba abonten a efa 1 eye MPP eye former eye omochira alleged criminal appointee yente emasisi a yedas
Abusia NPP formal appointee, criminal appointee, just a waluti or mine sika the case cry ewo court. Na rather na eyese enka okoko piemu ewo court. Na abusia judges netina ase. Tina omotina ase no. Unua we ya second accused person or we ya abusuya yese immigration officers, Ghana immigration officers are arrested no Kotoka International Airport as your friend no Accra International Airport. Abusuya HSS second accused person we no abusuya enka odwane e free Ghana ha odwane every oman mu kura without any permission. Obia ni case e wo court no abusuya sa HSS ye grant ni bill no Andra Kotoka International Airport Ghana Immigration Service for arrested no ewo airport enka odwane de free o man mu kura ka onye den enka ombabiu na we ene ye ka kire judge no ena judge sa abusuya NPP4 never again. Andra former NPP appointee ni case wo court enka odwane e de free Ghana has ya immigration officers for arrest na enye asem keto akra me yakora yenkonkotie ensma e course on subscribe na hit on the notification bell so na be any update be aba drop no onso onsa ebetumi aka aha gossip politics TV so bedamase
to statements from both the Special Prosecutor's Office and the Deputy Attorney General. This Office Special Prosecutor put out this. It say the OSP, the Office Special Prosecutor returns before the High Court, Criminal Division 1. That was this morning for the hearing of a bail application concerning the second accused person in this whole rice scandal case, and that's at the heart of what happened yesterday. So the accused persons then decided to test the law and then ask questions of the prosecutorial powers of the special prosecutor. Now, remember, this question is also before the Supreme Court. And so that's why the question of the jurisdiction of the High Court was of primary concern to a number of people yesterday. But the Office of the Prosecutor says at yesterday's sitting, the court was informed that the second accused person had been arrested at the Kotoka International Airport while attempting to leave the country without permission in breach of his bail condition. He was apprehended by immigration officials and subsequently handed over to the OSP. The OSP accordingly applied for the revocation of his bail and prayed the court to remand him into custody pending the conclusion of the trial. Counsel for the second accused opposed the application, arguing that his client was traveling to attend a seminar upon nomination by his employer. Well, the court adjourned the bail application to 16 April today for the ruling. On the substantive trial, the court yesterday adjourned proceedings to 15th May 2026 to await the Supreme Court's determination of a challenge to the OSP's prosecutorial authority in this particular case. So this is what's happened. Now, our court correspondent, Lord Edward Sari, was also been asking questions and getting some updates on exactly what happened today regarding this particular bail application, this hearing. We'll get that as well. But also, Dr. Adam Shamside, the Deputy Attorney General, said this and posted this on his social media handle. Yesterday, the High Court ordered the Honorable Attorney General to take over all the cases which the Office of the Special Prosecutor is prosecuting until such a time that the OSP obtains the constitutionally required authorization to prosecute. And the emphasis is on all the cases. So that also raised the question about not just a specific case in question, this rice scandal case. The Deputy Attorney General says the consequence of that High Court pronouncement yesterday was to the effect that all the cases which the OSP is prosecuting should be taken over by the AG. And there are those who hold a different view on this. The order was given in a case brought by an accused person, one Peter Archibald Hyde, who was being prosecuted by the OSP. In that case, Peter Archibald Hyde asked the High Court to direct the OSP to show that its officers are authorized by the Attorney General to initiate or conduct prosecution. Archibald Hyde's lawyer argued that both the Constitution and the OSP Act require that the OSP to prosecute, but on the authorization of the Attorney General. The court's records show, however, that the OSP was unable to show that it has the Attorney General's authorization, hence the court's order yesterday. The Honorable Attorney General has no intention or capacity to disobey or ignore the High Court's order. Accordingly, the Office of the Attorney General will, in the coming days, begin to take necessary steps to give effect to the court's order. So what this effectively means that they're going to take necessary steps to take over the cases that the special prosecutor is prosecuting. And that is what has also raised concerns, well, for some other persons as well who have been expressing their views about this development. One such person, Al-Hassan Tampoli, who spoke to Eric Maonagbeta earlier today. Take a look.
One of the planks, the few planks of the fight against corruption is the potent office of the special prosecutor. Now, the way and manner that people are going or coming after the office of the special prosecutor, especially government officials, and in this particular instance, the office of the Attorney General, the way and manner that they are coming after the office. And in this case, I'm not even talking about the special prosecutor himself. The way that they want to completely obliterate the office tells me that it's a clear government agenda.
Even right down from the president.
Yeah, I think that because if the president is not happy about it, if you go to Article 58, it says that executive power is vested in the president, and the president can either choose to act directly or indirectly through subordinates of his. Any action by the executive definitely becomes the action of the president. So if the president is unhappy with what is going on, the president has to intervene. But for now, we think that it's the whole government machinery that has been unleashed against the office of the special prosecutor. And I think that also tells us about how impotent the government has become in the fight against corruption.
It was going to be my next question as to what this means about their corruption fight and that oral mandates, if I can call it a mandate, that oral claim that they are going to recover the loot, and then now the OSP is...
No, but isn't it ironic that people are working with oral? What is the legal mandate of oral? Where in the law do we know oral? Who is oral? We are working with oral, but we don't want to work with the special prosecutor. There's nothing in the law that recognizes oral. But you have given oral all the powers. And the Attorney General has reviewed the reports of oral and said that there is a lot of garbage from that report, meaning that the Attorney General is working with the report of oral. But you don't want to recognize a body that has been created by the Parliament of the Republic of Ghana. And all the Attorney General is going to do is to give them the necessary fiats. And all this hula baloo will be gone. It takes just one letter, like the one Gloria Kufu did to the MPA, that's it.
Lastly, on the judiciary, because today that substantive case of the Supreme Court should have been heard, but we found out that the courts gave the AG an extension in time to file processes and what have you. Should the justices have been minded of that pronouncement by the High Court judge and trying to bring about sanity, because you mentioned murkiness, and trying to bring about sanity within the judicial space by using today's hearing as an opportunity to perhaps address something?
Well, I'm thinking the Supreme Court could have, if maybe that matter had been brought before the judges who sat on the case. Maybe they would have been minded to issue consequential orders, but I'm not too sure that was an issue that had come before the Supreme Court. So maybe if the Supreme Court didn't pronounce on it, it may likely be the case that such a matter hadn't been urged on the court. But that notwithstanding, the Supreme Court can still proceed. What I thought should happen right now is that the Office of the Special Prosecutor that applied to join the action and the Supreme Court declined, the Supreme Court should have given them an opportunity to join the case and to make an argument in favor of the continuance of Office of the Special Prosecutor. What it means is that the plaintiff, who is known to have association with the Deputy Attorney General, and he works in the Deputy AG's law firm, private law firm, has come before the court. And the argument of the Attorney General is that, yes, the plaintiff's arguments, we agree with him. It means that the plaintiff and defendant have become one. The adversarial system of our judicial, system has been completely undermined. The Supreme Court should have given the OSP the opportunity to come and vindicate their rights. You understand? So right now, the plaintiff and the defendant, I and my shorty, are one. That is what is happening before us.
Well, you can find all of this on the full complement of this on 3news.com. Make some time and visit 3news.com. We're back after this quick break. A number of you have been telling us your experience lately with the purchase of sachet water. Quite a number of you are saying that you're buying sachet water at a higher price than what was the case about a month ago, despite this directive by the Minister for Trade and Industry as a direct slap in the face of a clear directive from the Trade Minister that this earlier announced increase in the price of petroleum, that's the price of sachet water, should not take place after engagement with the sachet water producers and then also the marketers, that's in those who sell the sachet water, the retailers. Now, what has happened is that a number of people have brought to our attention the increase in the prices of sachet water by some brands. And that's why we're even talking about this in the first place. Now, take a listen to the Minister of Trade and Agribusiness, Elizabeth Ofosue-Jare, at that press conference with the sachet water producers. And this is what she had to say.
The economy has been stable for a while. We think that they have been cushioned. So it is good time for the industry to also cushion Ghanaians. They have agreed to do that so that we continue to enjoy the stability that we have in the system. Because in any economy, there are gains and there can be losses. Don't worry, this is temporary. I think that this economy is resilient enough to bounce back quickly so that you make the returns on your investment. So on that note, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, sachet water sellers, retailers, wholesalers, the prices remain the same.
She said the prices remain the same, 50 pesos. But some of you say, no, that's not what's happening. That's not your reality. But the sachet water producers themselves, the leadership was at this press conference 2 weeks ago. And this is what the president said after the minister had spoken. Take a look.
And considering the fact that sachet water is a basic necessity for over 33 million Ghanaians, yes, we are losing money if we go back to the old price, but then for the fact that we love Ghana and Ghana must thrive, we've decided to absorb the shock and keep the old prices for at least a month or two, and we expect that it will trickle down to the sachet water producers as.
So that was Boboche, who is the chairman of this plastic producers and the sachet water producers as well, talking there. And the decision then, just about 2 weeks ago, was that they were going to stay the prices for the next 1 month or two to monitor what happens on the global scene as a result of the increasing prices that they're having to face. That influences the cost of production. Well, some members of the general public have been telling us what their experience is, and we spoke to one of them who actually walked up to us to tell us this. And so we decided to put a question on social media. I'll get to the reactions on social media in a bit, but just take a look at this.
I see no reason why we should sell sachet water with 1 cedi in this country, whereby the water, we get the water from this, our own land here. Maybe the rubber that might think that might come from somewhere, but looking at it, I think that it's unfair to increase the sachet water.
Well, we put this question on social media. This is it. Have you bought sachet water at a higher price recently, despite the assurances by producers that prices wouldn't be increased? Well, on Facebook, about 67% of you say yes, 48% of you say no. And on X, in fact, this is still active, so you can go on our X page, TV3 Ghana, on Facebook page as well, and share your thoughts. 51% of you respondents on X say yes, you have experienced an increase in the prices, and in fact, I beg your pardon, 51% of you say no, and 49% of you say yes, you have experienced an increase. And on our WhatsApp channel, TV3 Ghana, you have 277 of you who participated in this. This is still active on our WhatsApp channel. 277 of you say yes, you have bought sachet water at an increased price, and 93 of you say no, you haven't. So as I indicated, this is not a wholesale increase in the sachet water prices. So obviously some would still have the experience of buying it at 50 pesos, others are buying it higher. But what is instructive is that there are more of you, at least with this outcome of our poll, that say you are buying it at a higher price. This is why I bring in Apia Adomako, Executive Director of CATS International, also is a policy analyst. But Adomako, thank you for joining us here on Ghana Tonight. Now, we're just learning of this.
Okay, Abusia, we need answer a course or political highway. So, former NPP appointee, Nidania Udani, Hedia Free Ghana has seen, it is all Ken Ofuriata hono eno ena ne mission no efelia empanyfo ensa etumi asonemu ya bedamase samoje pene kokotisa ensam we edemai aha gossip politics TV so medamase.